Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. You know, there's always something we can learn in the news. So this is a different type of video, but take a look at this man right here. Okay, he's been married 4 times with only 2 divorces. Okay, so you do the math. There's still 2 marriages that are outstanding. Married 4 times, 2 divorces. You get the picture. Well, I was came across this video, and it says, I was made a fool of. Wife reports that reports husband to cops after learning on Facebook he's marrying another woman. Are you kidding me? It says on Monday, a Texas man was charged with bigamy. And y'all, you know, bigamy is not something that people are typically charged with, but it looks like some states are taking this very, very seriously because it can cause a lot of damage. Not to say that adultery and other things can't cause damage, but the bigamy part. Take a look at this face here. His name is Marcus Shorten. And you know what? When I went to looking him up, he has multiple Facebook pages. Now, some people have Facebook pages for business, but he has a lot of Facebook pages. KTRK reports that Marcus Shorten has been married 4 times with only 2 divorce decrees recovered, but Houston police believe he is currently married to 2 women. A woman who wishes to be only called Tammy told KTRK that she married Shorten in 2012 but separated in 2019. Tammy, who is Shorten's 3rd wife, claimed they were never formally divorced, as Shorten claimed his family would see him as a failure. Well, he was married 2 other times before Tammy, but maybe Tammy didn't know about those marriages. I don't know. It says, however, last December, Tammy reportedly discovered a wedding registry for Shorten and another woman. Records indicate that the pair were wed the following month. So he was married in January of 2024. When Tammy got word, you think she might have been a little, jealous. I don't know. But yeah, he's supposed to divorce her, or she divorced him. Tammy claims she told Shorten, before you let the world know what you're doing, make sure your business is right. What she meant was, you need to get divorced from me before you marry anybody else. The discovery led Tammy to go to the police, who charged Shorten with bigamy. On Wednesday, Shorten allegedly told KTRK that he is not married to anyone. Lord have mercy. However, Houston police have not located a divorce decree for Tammy. You can't go around lying and misleading individuals at your self-satisfaction, she said. KTRK reported that Shorten has not been arrested, so he can be charged with the felony. Let's look at this video and see what else folks are saying. But yeah, Tammy went on and reported him.
Found out through Facebook that her husband was getting remarried. The only problem, he was still married to her.
Okay, it's skipping. I hate when it does.
Now her husband is facing a rare bigamy charge. ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live. Jessica, you heard from the wife. What did she have to say here?
Yeah, according to court records, Marcus Shorten has been married at least 4 times. We found divorce decrees for 2 of those marriages, but right now Houston police allege that he is married to 2 women. He was charged with bigamy on Monday. Today, he denied being married to anyone.
I feel like I was made a fool of.
For 5 years, this woman who asked that we only use her first name, Tammy, says she was patient.
He says, I didn't want a divorce. I'm getting me some help, Tim. I don't want to get a divorce.
Now, that's a red flag. You're separated, and he said he didn't want a divorce and that he's going to get him some help. So I guess she decided, because when you're still married, I guess there's always the opportunity, to have that person come back into your life or to rekindle it. But he said he didn't want to get married, and she accepted that. But yeah.
I don't want my family to think I'm a failure.
She and Marcus Shorten got married in 2012. She was his 3rd wife, she says. In 2019, they decided to separate and would speak occasionally, sometimes talking about divorce.
What you want to do? Do you want to get a divorce? He says, I'll get back with you on that.
Then last December,
You know, I understand they discussed it, and he said he would get back with her on that. It's either you're going to be separated, because you can legally separate, or you're going to get divorced. Either one thing has to happen. A lot of times what I've seen, and what I know in my personal life as well, is that what I've seen growing up is in a lot of, I can only go by the African American community, but a lot of people, certain people that I saw, they would separate, but they would never get divorced. So they would be in whole other relationships, and they would never ever get divorced. And then a person passes away and you're still married. I myself had gotten separated, and it was a long, separation. And we did try some marriage counseling and things like that, but we eventually got divorced because I didn't think it was feasible if we're divorced for this long and we're both operating in other relationships, rather than to keep sinning, because you're married. So if you're married and you're seeing somebody else, that's adultery, right? Let's be clear about that. So, you can go your lifetime, and I've watched people in our community do it, will divorce. This person will go on and start a whole new family with a whole nother people, but never get divorced. And then when this person passes away, the person that they're currently with has no say on anything. And it just creates a lot of confusion, a lot of problems. And, some people decide to do it that way, but they discussed it. He wasn't sure, but they obviously got separated for a reason. And when you get separated from somebody, there's a reason why two people go their separate ways, or one person does. And, was there counseling involved? I don't know. But it looks like she was okay with the separation as long as, he wasn't married. Again, rightfully so. And so when she found out on Facebook, and Facebook is going to be, he got on Facebook, and this man has about 9 different pages, like y'all, 7, I would say at least 7 different pages. He scrubbed some of them clean, but he has about 7 different pages, and he's taking pictures down. He after the 3rd or 4th marriage, it's like, what more, what else are you going to do? This is going to continue. It's not going to stop. This is a person who can't be by themselves. So, she's part and parcel to this too, because she let him make the decision. If they got separated for a reason, and it should have been her to issue, but some people don't believe in divorce. But if you had to get separated, obviously there was something wrong. And the fact that he's on his 3rd or 4th, had 4 marriages and only 2 divorces, there's a major problem. So let's finish listening to what else
she was blindsided, she says.
So look at him right there. Look at him. According to what I saw, I don't know if he's a tech or a nurse at the VA. That's what I think he is. But child,
by word of a new wedding registry, and she let him know.
I told him, before you let the world know what you're doing, make sure your business is right, correct.
According to the registry, the happy couple got married at the Fifth Ward Church of Christ in January.
So yeah, apparently, according to the registry, this couple was getting married in January. Or was that true or not? Was he just putting that out there to get people to buy stuff? Look, marriage license. Look at here. Let me blow this up a little bit. It says, now this document is a marriage license, not a marriage certificate. The state of Texas. It is unofficial. So I don't know. Did she go? It says January 27th, 2024. Why they mark out the person's name? This is to certify that I united in marriage, Marcus Andra Shorten, and whoever that person is, on January 27, 2024. And this is somebody named something Wilkes, an evangelist. So I would have to see. This is the Harris County, state of Texas. That's what it says. So I don't know if she went and got this annulled. I don't know. But clearly there's a marriage certificate there. So the fact that he's saying he's not married, that poses a problem. And bigamy faces, I think it's a felony.
The team found that marriage license too.
Were you aware that you were charged with bigamy?
Earlier, our Pujallodia spoke with Shorten on the phone, who told her he is not married to anyone.
Lord, this man. Do you see some of these folks? So I'm going to follow up on this story. He's saying he ain't married to nobody. But they found 4 marriages, but only 2 divorce decrees. So that means you married to Miss Tammy and maybe to the first, who else? I don't know.
Charging documents say otherwise. Houston police couldn't find a divorce decree from Tammy. Bigamy is a felony.
Because I knew it was wrong.
Look at
You
him.
not only have destroyed my life, but now you have destroyed somebody else's life and all the parties that's involved in it.
And that's why she says she went to police.
You can't go around lying and misleading individuals
Look at him.
at your self-satisfaction.
It's a super rare charge, according to lawyers.
Woo!
She feels betrayed and wants him to answer for what she says he's done.
It's not like you don't know what a divorce is because you've been married several times before.
That's right.
Jessica, as you mentioned, this is not a crime you hear about every day. What is the punishment if he's convicted?
Yeah, it's not a minor crime, Jonathan. In Texas, it's a 3rd-degree felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison.
Whoa. It is punishable by up to 10 years in prison in Texas. So it is not a light, this is not something to take lightly. It says here, Houston man charged with bigamy after wife finds out about second wedding through Facebook records. Okay. So I'm going to do a little digging to find out what happens with this case. And there's another case here in the state of Georgia. I covered this one. This is not a New York, Georgia case, but this is a case. There's a case here in Georgia where Shirley Strawberry, Steve Harvey's co-host, Mr. Ernest Williams, he's being charged with bigamy. I think he's been married 5 times. And I think maybe 4 to 5 times again, almost like this guy. But I think there were only maybe 2 to 3 divorces or something to that nature. But anyway, if you seen this face right here, that is Mr. What's his name? Shorten. And he might want to shorten how many times he gets married after this. He's saying he's not married anymore, but they surely did block out that woman's name that's up there, and I don't understand why, because it's public record, to be honest with you. I guess it's January they got married, it's July. She could probably get that annulled like it never happened. But anyway, y'all, she found out about this on Facebook. What do you think about this? I mean, should she have filed for her own divorce from this man? It sounds like he's the type of person, just my opinion is he likes his cake and eat it too. He could always have access. Some people don't believe in divorce, period. At all. They just don't. But it sounds like they do believe in divorce because they said they discussed it. So she shouldn't have left it, in my belief, she shouldn't have left this in his hands to make the decision. If it wasn't working out, why are you leaving it on him? Now that you know that he was dealing with somebody else, or even before that, she should have filed on her own. But filing for divorce, depending on assets and things, it could be kind of tricky. And maybe he didn't want that smoke. Maybe she didn't want that smoke. I don't know. But I'm just here to say, from my own experience and what I've seen, if you are not with somebody, unless you think you're going to reconcile, I think you should just end that situation. The fact that you're no longer together and you guys have decided to separate since 2019, so 19, 20, so 1, 2, 3, for 5 years, that means it's time. Okay, if you haven't rekindled within the first 2 to 3 years, because things can happen, 5 years is the time where I would say, it's time for us to get divorced. But he wasn't trying to get divorced. He was trying to, look at the smirk. The eyes are the windows to the soul. But if you know this man, you might be married to him. I'm going to follow this story and see what they have to say. If they catch him, he hasn't been arrested. But this is a felony where you can face up to 10 years in prison in Houston. So they're not taking this very lightly. And it looks like he went and got married in January. So they put out a registry, and he had the audacity See, when I looked, he has like at least six different profiles on Facebook. But he's taking those things down. So let's see. If you married to him, you can contact me and we can do a story. I've seen this before in the community. I don't know what the, other folk do, but I've seen in the Black community, African American, whatever y'all want to call it these days, that women will get separated from their spouses and just never divorce them at all. And this other spouse, the man, he goes on and starts a whole new family, has whole new kids and all of that good stuff, right in the same neighborhood. And then the woman, she goes on and gets a boyfriend and has a whole new relationship, but they don't get divorced. And that does, where I'm at now in my life is totally a different space where I was before. And that just adds insult to injury. Whether you're a believer or not, if you're still married, some people don't consider that fornicating and adultery. They don't, because they're like, this person has gone on with their life, but there's still a covenant there. And one thing I didn't understand, and I was not really, if we understood what a covenant really means and really did the research and really, looked at what a covenant really means in the scriptures, we probably wouldn't do half of what we do. Some people wouldn't, maybe some people still would. But once I understood the importance, how important a covenant is, whether it's marriage or anything else, that agreement, that bond, it is not broken because you guys separate. It's not broken. That covenant is still there before God. And then we add insult and injury, and I included myself in there because I know what has happened with me. You add insult to injury, and then you go and get involved with somebody else. Even though people have gone on and, ain't nobody checking for nobody else, you're still married. And that has legal consequences, right? It has financial consequences to it, right? And it has most importantly, it has spiritual consequences. So yeah, child, I don't know if they caught him, but I'm gonna finish researching on this. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. There's always something that we can learn in the news, and this is just one of those topics where, do you think he's going to jail? Do you think the other woman he married in January, she's gonna get an annulment because she can? I mean, what do you think about this? And these are scriptures, these are laws that have been put in place that they typically didn't even pay attention to, but now a lot of more folks are being charged with bigamy. And you know what? The internet and these computers, you're able to match up computers to computer, and more bigamy charges are going to come about, probably for women too. But I think most of the bigamists, to be honest with you, are men. I'm just saying, I think the majority of people who get caught and who commit bigamy are men. Not saying that women don't do it, but the majority. But my thing is just get divorced and then go on and move on into the next chapter of your life. But if you have other things still hanging out there like that, it can cause a lot of confusion, a lot of heartache too. So don't be selfish like that. Just, sever those ties. Not only are you severing the ties for the world to understand and for the, somebody else, but spiritually, you're still bound in the spirit realm to this person. So as long as you're married to them, you're still married. Even if you've gone on and had multiple relationships, here comes the added insult to injury. You already divorced. Separated. And that's a hard thing. But then when you understand what a covenant is and the way God really looks at that, and then people go on and start a whole new family with whole new kids, that creates so much pain, so much heartache for the children, the two different families. Then the person forgets about sometimes they forget about the first family they had, even though they still married to this woman, and they go on and they start a whole new life. That is so horrible, guys. We just have to be accountable for my actions. But I think here, Mr. I've been married 4 times with only 2 divorces, Mr. Shorten, I think that you might be going to jail. That's what I think. You know what I mean? And I think it might stick, in the fact that Tammy said, she discussed divorce. And he was like, no, he didn't want to. And then he went on and got married in January. I think he going to jail. And if he is a nurse, I don't think his career is going to stand anymore. I think he's going to have a problem. But anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this story. This probably happens more so than not. But some of these cocky narcissists, they get on YouTube I mean, not YouTube. They get on Facebook and they announce their wedding in their wedding registry. Now, the woman is all too, unsuspecting. She don't know. You know what I mean? She's putting her registry out there. But he knew. He knew with his old 6-7 Facebook pages. Anyway, y'all, like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell, because there's always something that we can learn in the news. All right, y'all. Peace. And I'm out.